Hello, love bugs, and welcome to my channel. I'm the tax craft lady, Danielle, bringing you all things taxes and all things crafts. So, I had to get on here and give you guys an update on tax season. The federal government has just pushed back the start of tax season. Well, let's say when they'll be processing tax returns to February 12th. What? What? I mean, I know there's things they have to do, different laws change, this and that, but those things happen every year. I know there's like COVID and things like that, but to February 12th, and how they come up with that date. First thing I like to ask you guys to do is please subscribe so you don't miss anything that the tax craft lady is bringing to the table. Let's get into this video. Now, normally the IRS opens up tax season toward the end of January. For us tax preparers, we usually get to start submitting our tax returns a few days before like January 20th. So maybe like the 16th, we're able to start sending them our tax returns that we're processing because they, give us a little head start because we're certified tax preparers. That's what we do. This year, they still will give us those couple days ahead of time, but we have to wait until February. In any event, you still should contact your tax preparer. Now, the IRS, they're saying that they're going to start accepting those tax returns officially on February 12th. Since they have the COVID Relief Act that took effect in late December, and the tax filing deadline is April 15th. So I don't even know why that's not changing. But anyway, the IRS needs to prepare. They said they need more time to process this COVID Relief Fund, COVID Relief Act, and, even when they're open correctly, if you're filing certain forms, like if you get like earned income credit, or if you're eligible to file like credits for like caregiving and things like that, some of those forms aren't available until usually into February. But this year, when you're filing like earned income credit, trying to think of a few other things. If you're eligible for those type of things, or extra child tax credits, you probably won't get your return until the beginning of March. Now, I know that sounds like, oh my gosh, I gotta wait till March. But as a tax preparer, it's a bit of a headache for us too, because our clients are calling us now, and of course we can get their information in the system now, make sure we got our T's crossed and our I's dotted and everything we need. So as soon as they open it up to our system, we can just hit send and it's there. But also we're kind of upset because it's a trying time. It's been a hard year with COVID. People definitely need their tax refund. But I had a few statements I read on CNBC. And this was from, let me see, from the IRS. They made a statement saying, if filing season were opened without the correct programming in place, then there could be delay in issuing refunds to taxpayers, the IRS said in its announcement. Wait a second, they still haven't processed millions of returns from the year before last. So I'm kind of confused on that statement. So did they not have the correct programming in place then either? They also go on to say these changes ensure that eligible people will receive any remaining stimulus money as a recovery rebate credit when they file their return. That was from the IRS. Now, I got a little bit of questions about that because been going in the computer the last few days for some of my clients, and people have reached out to me and said, I didn't receive my stimulus. What do I do? We contacted the IRS. The IRS says go on their site, update their information, fill out, you click, there's a part of it, it says get my recovery rebate or, get my stimulus. We click on that, get the information in. But then we check back, like I've checked back today on several of those accounts, and it still says status not available. So how do we know it went in there? And then they said we had to do it by yesterday in order for them to get it before tax season. But if the status is still unavailable, how do they know if they're going to get it? I'm just thinking that's a sort of a delay tactic or a pacifying tactic by the IRS to say, oh yeah, you got it in the system, we're working on it. You're not working on it. Come on, let's be real. They're not working on it. You're going to have to claim that recovery rebate credit in order to get your stimulus money. So contact your tax preparer. Contact me. Put a statement down below. Put a question. Put your email address information. I'll reach out to you. You got to get that information into the system. Because if you don't get that into the system, it's just going to be one other reason they say, well, did you do this? If you didn't do this, we don't got this. If you didn't do it by this time, we can't give you this. Okay, they're giving us all these deadlines. But let me tell you something. And they reported this on CNBC too. That there was still 7.1 million unprocessed individual returns and 2.3 million unprocessed business returns as of November 24th of last year. What? And that's from the Taxpayer Advocate Service Fund. They found that out. Now I got a question for these taxpayer advocates too. I've been working with a client with a taxpayer advocate for the last few weeks. And they were boom, boom, boom on the phone. Let's get your information. Let's this, let's that. We get to the last step. Now they don't answer the phone. They won't return the phone call. What do we do now? What does that client do? I'm on the phone every day ringing this woman up. Her mailbox got to be sick of hearing D. Roman's No Limit Tax Refunds and Business Services is calling you again. What's going on? What is the advocate for? Are you there to really help the taxpayer, or what's going on? I'm a bit confused. But I would like to find out for my clients, for the world. We want to know. Is it worth getting a tax advocate? Is this just another pacifying tactic by the IRS or the federal government to say, we're working on it? Are they working on it? Kind of confused. I just am very upset about the pushback of the tax filing season. Not that it's going to delay my work, because I can start getting people's information in the system yesterday, which I have. But when companies are forced to, they have a deadline to get their employees' W-2 to them in January. And, those tell you what the workers earn, the tax deductions, and the taxes taken out and all of that. They have a deadline. So they have to meet that deadline. When they don't meet that deadline, they can in turn get fines and penalties from the government. Who gives the government the fines and penalties when they don't meet their deadlines? Or is it that they don't have any deadlines? Kind of confused on that. But I've been looking through this, and I've gone back and forth with the IRS, and I'm hoping that everyone can survive till they get a tax refund or a third stimulus payment. I'm saying a third stimulus payment when some people haven't even gotten the first one, which is a sad shame. Because in any event, I'm thinking like this. If they say, well, you didn't update your bank account information, which you should have. No doubt you should, if you want direct deposit. If you live in the same household, why didn't you get a check? I know people have lived at the same address for the last 20 years. Haven't gotten a stimulus check. Not the first one, not the second one. We've contacted the IRS. We've updated their information. They still haven't received them yet. So I'm a bit confused on the government's tactics, the IRS's tactics of, You got to go online. You got to put this information in. You got to do this and that. Well, if we do our part, when are they going to do their part? I'm a bit confused. Now, so if you didn't get your stimulus check, I want you to be sure, please be sure, to contact your tax preparer. If you don't have a tax preparer, if you do your taxes yourself and you're confident in that, you can go online to the IRS website and click on the link that says to check for your stimulus payment. It says get your recovery rebate credit. You need to click on that and make sure your information is in that system. Even if you get to that and you don't know what to do, feel free to give me a call. You know, I don't mind helping anyone out, having them go through those pages, forms. You have to claim that on your taxes so you can get the credit. And because that's going to be the next excuse. The IRS says, well, you didn't check that box off online, da-da-da. But you know that you didn't give me a stimulus check. So, the IRS is funny like that. So, you guys, please be sure, contact your tax preparer. Tax season's not officially open. Well, they're not going to start processing tax return until February 12th. Technically, we can get them in the system before then. They say they'll start processing them. So, get your information in there, guys. Don't waste any time. When you waste time, you're waiting until next year to get your tax refund, which I know some of my clients are still waiting for their tax refund. Some people also have to paper file. And if there is any way possible to avoid the paper file, please electronically file. To get with your tax preparer on, just say you have a PIN number and you don't have it, you lost it. I don't care if you got to look through every paper in your house. Try to find it. If you can get to your local IRS office, I don't care if you got to sit out there in the rain, sleet, or snow. You need to try to get that PIN number. Because if you don't, it won't let us file your tax return electronically. You will have to paper file. And if you're filing an amendment, you can't electronically send that if you don't have the PIN number. A lot of amendments get sent paper mail. Takes a much longer time, especially when they're already 10 steps behind. So, guys, this is the Tax Craft Lady bringing you all things taxes and all things crafts. Don't miss out on the next update because